Korean thrillers have reached new heights. Imaginative and creative settings. Weird and bizarre ways of death. If you like it, don't miss it. The third-year high school students are preparing to go to the suburbs to participate in study activities. They don't know it as they are having fun. From the moment they got on the bus, they have already embarked on a weird journey of no return. When they arrived at the hotel near midnight, the top student was playing with a book and suddenly felt that this place looked familiar. The top student was playing with a book and suddenly felt that something looked familiar here. Thinking about it carefully, it turns out that the scene she dreamed about during the day was very similar to the layout of the hotel. In the dream, she saw a disheveled woman falling into the swimming pool. Then all the classmates turned into standing corpses. The horrific experience is still fresh in my memory, but I didn't think much about it while playing with books. Followed the classmates to move their luggage into the hotel. The teacher who led the team hurried over. Instructed the monitor and deputy monitor to keep an eye on everyone. He also has to pick up students from other classes. At this time, people discovered one after another. There was no communication signal in the hotel. Even the wireless network was out of order. Wasn't it cut off from the outside world? Many students looked anxious. Suddenly the lights in the hall dimmed. The timid girls screamed, because there was a white figure standing in the center of the field. The sports student threw a basketball at it. Only then did he realize that it was a classmate in the class named Alu who was pretending to be him. Not only did the other party not feel guilty at all, he also told everyone in a sarcastic manner. He had heard on the internet that a female high school student had left this hotel. The classmates quickly interrupted his nonsense. Wanshu took the matter to heart. After returning to the room, he asked his roommate to help him check the internet. Unfortunately, there is no communication network here. The other party was also helpless. At this moment, Wanshu discovered that a software was forcibly installed on his mobile phone. The same is true for the roommate's cell phone. A line of text pops up on the screen. The game starts now. Please check your occupation. Not just the two of them. All students in the class receive the message. Everyone is divided into doctors, citizens, police and other occupations. They are asked to vote for the werewolf player. Before 12 a.m., the students with the most votes will be executed. At first everyone thought it was just a boring game. Most people chose the classmate they hated the most. It was Alu who was pretending to be a man in white. But when playing with books they noticed something was wrong. Didn't everyone's mobile phones not have access to the internet? Why did they download the software inexplicably? And the students could also use it to send messages to each other. The roommates nearby also cast puzzled glances. The more Lu Shu thought about it, the more uneasy he became. So he found the monitor Junshi and came to the hotel office. Not only did the teacher who led the team not come back, even the staff were missing. Wanshu tried the landline. Unfortunately, it was also disconnected. At this time, a classmate came over mysteriously. Wanted to invite Wanshu to the swimming pool. The latter didn't think much about it. As soon as he walked in, he noticed that the layout in front of him looked familiar. Suddenly the lights around him came on. It turns out that today is Wanshu's birthday. Several close classmates wanted to give her a surprise. As a result, everyone got more and more excited. They planned to throw the playbook into the swimming pool. They stopped until the other party was scared to tears. But the deputy squad leader didn't care so much. Pushed her directly into the pool. Playbook took a lot of effort to escape from the water. Suddenly there was a huge force under the feet. Turned around. Suddenly saw a woman with disheveled hair grabbing her. Fortunately, at this time, Monitor Junshi rushed over, jumped into the swimming pool and rescued Wanshu. When she woke up again, found herself lying in the infirmary. The strange experience just now was still vivid in her mind, but she didn't know how to describe it. Just then, the deputy monitor came in with a group of classmates. Apologized to her with tears. Wanshu didn't bother to argue with her. He revealed the matter very generously. The squad leader was about to lead everyone back. Suddenly the sound of a radio sounded in the corridor. There was still 1 minute before the voting ended. Everyone picked up their mobile phones. They found a countdown on the screen. Not long afterward, the voting data came out. The person who got the most votes was indeed the classmate Alu who likes to prank. The announcement had just announced that he was going to be executed. Everyone saw Alu holding his head in pain. When the man raised his head again, his eyes were pale. Then he fell to his knees. Keep banging his head on the ground. The monitor quickly helped the man up, but he still couldn't stop his crazy behavior. Everyone was so scared that they backed away. Only saw Alu speed up. He actually jumped out through the glass of the corridor. What's even weirder is the classmates who were panicking a moment ago. At this time, they all fainted on the ground. Early the next morning, everyone woke up from the coma at the same time. Recalling the weird experience last night, everyone turned pale with fear. Wanshu was the first to stand up. Go to the corridor glass to check. Alu's body has cooled down. The broadcast tone sounded again. Picked up the phone and took a look. A classmate named Ayuen was killed by a werewolf. Please vote as soon as possible to find the real werewolf. Everyone at the scene suddenly realized. Obviously, the Alu selected yesterday was not a werewolf. The sports student reacted the fastest. He was going to the broadcast room to see who was behind the scenes. At this time, there were screams from the bathroom. Walked over and took a look. There was blood seeping out of the cubicle opposite. The monitor stepped forward and pushed open the door. It was the classmate named Yuan lying on the ground without breathing. Everyone finally realized. The werewolf game on the mobile phone was not a prank. It was a test that could determine life and death. Lu Shu had the courage to touch it. He found that the blood was not dry yet. He must have just died. Other students don't care about this. Ask the squad leader what to do next. The latter thought for a while. The top priority is to get out of here first. The sports student who ran to the broadcast room. After searching everywhere, no one was found. Who controlled the broadcast prompt? Suddenly I received a message from my classmates on my phone. The monitor asked them to gather outside the hotel. The students who walked out of the hall looked around, decided to go back the way they came. Unexpectedly, the horn on the roadside rang again, requiring them to play within the designated area. At the same time, the mobile phone also issued a danger warning. Only then did everyone realize. A clear white line surrounded the hotel entrance. It seemed to be the boundary line of the game area. A long-haired boy couldn't stand it anymore. He shouted and rushed out. The friend wanted to pull him back. As a result, the two people who crossed the boundary felt a splitting headache at the same time. Are they going to be executed too? As expected. The two people opened their pale eyes at the same time. They collided with each other as if they had agreed. Until the long-haired man collapsed weakly to the ground. The remaining friend lost his target. He actually picked up a stone. Hit the head with all his strength. Not long after, the trumpet sounded again. The identities of the two dead people were both civilians, reminding everyone to find the werewolf as soon as possible. Now no one dared to ignore the rules of the game. The squad leader could only comfort everyone. Maybe the teacher will be back soon. The timid girl cried and wanted to go back. The frustrated classmates shouted, "If you want to leave, just leave by yourself. Don't affect everyone's mood. I can't get out now. I can't contact the rescue. Do we all have to die here?" Allah, a scumbag, accidentally saw a bunch of keys on the counter. So he quietly stuffed it into his pocket, playing with books and not wanting to give up. Quickly ran to the roof of the hotel. I hope I can receive the signal here. Although the result is disappointing. But she soon discovered new clues. The white line used to define the scope of activities actually extended to the back mountain. Maybe there would be clues to escape there. No matter how hard it was, she could find someone to ask for help. The squad leader's mind also became active. He went to the white line to test. When he was about to cross the boundary, the radio and mobile phone would issue reminders. Just walk in the direction where the white line extends. Nothing happened at all. A few people hurriedly ran back to share the news with everyone. The activity range of the game is connected to the back mountain. The squad leader needs a few strong students to explore together. Everyone hesitated, although most of them chose to remain silent. But there are still a few people who are willing to take risks. There are some cautious deputy squad leaders who like to show off. Finally, they also chose to go together. Lu Shu felt a little unwell after falling into the water yesterday. She could only stay in the hotel and wait for the news. But she had just sent everyone off. Suddenly she heard a voice calling her. Looking at the puzzled look on her roommate's face. Did she just hear a hallucination? When passing by the bodies of classmates who died tragically, she felt a little unbearable while playing with books. She thought they should be stored well. This hotel is so big. There should be a canteen, cold storage and the like. I have to say, the thought of playing with books is still very delicate. Before moving A Yuan's body, she took photos from all angles. For future police investigation, I happened to pick up the other party's mobile phone in the isolation room next to it. However, the battery was exhausted and could not be turned on. At this time, the gangster Allah took the front desk key and opened the doors one by one. Unexpectedly discovered a small supermarket. It seems that they will not starve in the next few days. And here Wanshu, with the help of several classmates, has moved the 4 corpses into the freezer. Checked their mobile phones one by one. Found that all of them were exhausted and turned off. For other students who are still alive, the battery of the mobile phone is displayed at 56%. It has not changed since yesterday. Such a strange situation. Wanshu was puzzled. The computer-playing roommate's imagination opened up. Could it be that what we were in was not a real space? The squad leader and others on the other side walked along the white line area halfway up the mountain. Suddenly a girl stepped on the air. The whole person tumbled down the mountain. Everyone was shocked. It was not until they confirmed that the other party had not crossed the boundary line that they all breathed a sigh of relief. After continuing for some distance, they finally arrived at the top of the mountain, and the range of movement drawn by the white line ended here. One of the students seemed to have discovered something, but the distance was too far. He could only take out a high-definition camera, and saw 2 figures standing in the distance. Everyone couldn't help shouting for help, but no response was received after shouting for a long time. Only then did they realize. The progress bar on the screen keeps going, but the 2 people always maintain the same posture. Even the birds in the sky are like this. Could it be that the scene before you is all artificially added? The above is the content of episodes 1 and 2 of Night Falls. If you like it, remember to continue to pay attention. See you in the next issue.